thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you coming and learning about this pipeline that we're advocating to fight against. And without further interruption, I'd like to introduce Steve Musgrave to take on the presentation. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Tim. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you all for coming out on what's the beginning of a nor'easter. So hopefully they won't flood before we get out of here tonight. My name's Stephen Musgrave. I'm from NoGasPipeline.org. Dale and I co-founded this several months ago, mid-July, to really get the word out. Dale Hardman, who couldn't be here tonight due to an emergency, is a policy expert and knows everything you'd ever want to know about the pipeline. Hoboken's been left out of this process. Spectra, which is the energy company that's going to be putting this pipeline in, is really, really into saying they consult their stakeholders. Well, they don't regard your proximity as a stakeholder position, which is very unfortunate and completely wrong. The fact that it doesn't technically go over into Hoboken civic land, political land, that's a technicality in our eyes, and I'm sure everyone here as well. So, I mean, our position here, No Gas Pipeline, is to defeat the pipeline. It is to prevent it from coming over if its proposed land route. There is an alternate route that's planned. It's a marine route. Well, it was proposed, and then it's a long story, which I won't go into. But we can't simply take the position that no pipeline at all, which we would love to. However, we can say there's a viable route you can take underneath the New York Harbor and up the Hudson to Manhattan, which would do a lot to alleviate our concerns about explosion.
Can you explain what that means, the blast radius?
Yeah, I will. The blast radius is the initial explosion. So there's a lot of pressure in the pipe, and it's when it explodes, it's literally a bomb. What happens is there's a huge explosion and a flame that goes out that extends to this area. And then as the explosion recedes, it comes back. That's the initial blast. And if you are a steel frame, we have photos on the website and you can see the destruction that it does. It'll just, if you're a wood frame building, it'll just essentially wipe it out. Because you have a lot of force too. And then it lights things on fire. Then, as in the case of San Bruno, you simply have a fountain of flame that's at least 100 feet tall. At San Bruno, that went on for an hour before they shut it off. The fire department couldn't get anywhere near it. They had to just contain the fire along a perimeter because it was so hot. So a lot of more property was damaged due to the fact that someone had to go and shut it off. It took them an hour to do it. And this also happened in Edison. So this is a blow up, and I'm hoping that you can see this. If not, again, this is on our website, and you can blow it up. So the red line is the pipeline. There's a metering station, and this is important to note. And this metering station is going to be, we're where? We're right here-ish? No, we're here, right? So we're here. That's pretty close. So the metering station relieves pressure on the line, releasing toxic chemicals. And I'll cover what those toxic chemicals are. So as you can also see that the purple line is the light rail, and over here we have a path line. So you can see that it's crossing this transportation infrastructure at a couple spots. And if we had, I just included the Hoboken one due to the audience, but if you come around this other way, the pipeline turns and it covers path again down here as it goes on to Journal Square, deeper on its way to Newark. So this green is Hoboken Terminal. You see it runs right along the southern edge. These yellow spots are points of interest in terms of where there's shelters, or there's children, playgrounds, etc., or areas of commerce, Target, A&P, Best Buy. There's a path station, of course. So you can see here's Target, well within, right in the initial, the lower end of the blast radius, and this is all measured. So if the blast was here, comes out here. So you have to imagine a circle.
Have you any luck contacting the city of Hoboken about the pipeline? pipeline
And the good
what
question.
they've said
Thank
to you about
Yeah,
it?
Thank you. Yeah, I did. In the spring, I was going to get to that further on, but thank you. In the spring, I went directly to Zimmer's office, and I went to your environmental committee. You're very fortunate you got that, for whatever it's worth, because Jersey City ain't got nothing close to it. And I sent emails, and I left phone messages, and I spoke to a few people, but nobody with any authority. And that went back and forth for a time, and I got nowhere. And then I got an email from Jennifer's office, who's the head of the environmental committee. She wanted some material resubmitted to her, which I did, but I heard absolutely nothing. Also, regarding Hoboken, there was a meeting recently in Community Board 2 in Manhattan, and FERC attended, as did numerous other entities. BJ was there, Steve was there, and I said to FERC outside the school, the public school, before the meeting started, why has Hoboken not been contacted regarding this project? Why weren't they part of the legally required scoping meetings? And the project manager is Kara Harris, and she said to my face that they're not part of this project. So I said directly to her face, and she walked away from me. And that's their playbook.
Clearly, there's a danger here with this pipeline. Everyone recognizes it. So please get the information out there to your friends. Everyone has several hundred Facebook friends. Recommend the site to them. And let's raise awareness in the city of Hoboken about this pipeline. Thank you.
I just can imagine hearing people saying that you're just an alarmist and that this is a safe process and that there are benefits for New Jersey and Jersey City and Hoboken, even though the gas is going to New York.
And to those people, I would encourage them to go to our website to go through exactly what we just went through tonight, and take a look at all the different aspects of the project, the wide view, like which Denise talked about with fracking, to just right around the corner. There is future economic vitality at risk, there's safety at risk, there's day-to-day gases that you're exposed to, fumes you're exposed to. So I don't think it's a NIMBY issue. I think it's a 30-inch regional transportation pipeline that's going through a heavily populated area. I think that's just irresponsible.
Denise, what can our local municipal body here in Hoboken, our city council, what could we do to help fight against this pipeline?
Well, you can do what I and Steve Fuller suggested to Mayor Healy, but he's not doing it. You have a city code, and you have a responsibility, at minimum, a fiduciary responsibility, as you well know, to protect the health, the security, and the environmental sustainability of your constituents. You can institute a moratorium. You can institute a ban. You can do it.
So it seems like the two real hot button issues are the environmental risk, and the other is everybody in the room gasped when we talked about financing not being available for development in this area anywhere near the pipeline.
It's a multi-faceted threat.
So got the economic and the safety that should bring together
Everybody.
a lot.
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. But there's a lot of information. Please excuse us. We pummeled you with all sorts of details. But I hope that what you come away with tonight is just remain engaged. The Facebook, we post a couple times a week on Facebook just to keep people updated. Or I think the email blast comes out twice a month, just to keep a pulse on things at the very least, to stay engaged.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Let people know. No one knows in Hoboken.
Right.
Help people.
Yeah, and that's